It seems like so much of this court ruling today is based on what they think about Trump, what they think about him, what they think he said before, what they think Rudy whispered in his ear. That seemed to be so much a part. And that gets to the point which I question, whether any judge can read the mind of anybody. I think Rudy Giuliani, and I should say Rudy Giuliani, I'll say this about Trump, certainly, he's a politician. He does what will work with his constituency. They want him to show some action. That's what he was doing, showing some action. How would a judge know he wasn't playing a political move, but he was really out to screw a particular religion? How would a judge know that except to read the EO and it doesn't say religion? That's all I'm asking here. I mean, this is certainly an odd ban on Muslims if it doesn't include 95% of Muslims. That you had some serendipity in your favor to get the Ninth Circuit, which has jurisdiction over your district court there in Seattle, to handle this case because it was a 3-0 ruling. You think that would have been the case in other circuit courts? But the concern I had is the policy question. In this ruling by the circuit court, the Ninth Circuit Court tonight, they talk about the fact that there is no evidence, quote, the government has pointed to no evidence that any alien from any of these countries named in the order has perpetrated a terrorist act in the United States. Well, if you go with that logic, it assumes like life follows precedent. Well, court rulings follow precedent. Life doesn't follow precedent. You know, we weren't hit by anybody from Egypt until Muhammad Ali led the attack on us on 9/11. If we had had a ban before that on Egypt and the thugs he brought in, the 14 or so thugs from Saudi Arabia, maybe history would have been different. But you can't predict the nationality of people who are going to strike us next. And they talk about the Fifth Amendment equal protection clause, the due process clause, rather. These are people, the main focus of this ban are people who are not in the country, not persons under the Constitution. They're people applying at a consulate somewhere to come to visit the United States. Why would an appellate court talk about policy like this, saying that none of these countries, these 7 countries, have sent us a terrorist yet? And I wonder why. In a courtroom, precedent may be everything, but it's certainly nothing to do with terrorism. They pop up from all kinds of places. Sirhan came from the West Bank or somewhere, from Jordan at the time. I mean, we don't know where they're going to come from. Muhammad Ali came from Egypt. We don't know where they're going to. You can't. How do you rule on the appropriateness of a ban or an executive order when you're saying you can predict the future if you're a judge and presidents can't? I think the courts have gotten into somebody else's marmalade here. You start talking about policy and which countries to target and which ones not to target. These judges don't have any competence to do that.
I mean, it was a unanimous decision on this San Francisco-based court that the Republicans are now attacking, that the White House is now attacking. The George W. Bush-appointed judge did not dissent on this. He was part of that opinion. And so I think that makes it harder to undercut. I mean, you can't be a strong president.
You're with Hillary that says 3-0.
You can't be a strong